Welcome to Obsidian for tabletop RPGs. Let's learn how to use the tool. Alright, g'day guys, welcome back today to another Obsidian tutorial. Today we're going to be having an in-depth look at my new tab page, and for anyone who hasn't seen this before, I've basically got a plugin set up so that when I press this new tab button, it goes straight to a custom page. Now, I've got a video on this previously, and this video is not going to be about how to set this up and just set this in, but I think it's just called default new tab page. Alright, so you can go ahead, you can install that, and you're basically literally just creating a note that you say, I want this to open when the new tab button is pressed. Alright, but today what we're going to do is we're going to jump in and we're going to have a look at just how I've structured my new tab layout. Alright, everyone has a different requirement. Right, for the first thing that you want to see, or the common things you want to see. And this is kind of like my landing page that I use as a shortcut to things, to be completely honest. So if we come through and have a look, let's just break this down. Alright, so up here we've basically got what is effectively just a table, okay, with 6 cells in it. And I've basically just got some pictures, and that's just eye-catching, right? They serve no functional purpose other than just to be nice to look at. But then they've got some links down here, and those I do use, and they're just going through to certain things. So let's just run through it. We've got a link to my map of Pharon, which is obviously something I use quite often. Alright, I keep the XY coordinates on the start point on this relatively up to date. I say that when my party are all the way up here, so obviously I've not been keeping it up to date recently. But basically, like, this is my go-to. If I want to know, quickly where's a location, or if I want to find out, your party are heading to this place, I come in here very quickly, be like, oh, you're in here, you're going to there, we click it and we open up the thing and it takes you to your note, right, and you can read about that place. I find that very handy, and obviously, because it's on the new tab, I can quickly just click it up, get to that. The other one is my journey board. Now, people have seen this around the traps for a while now. The journey board is kind of like what I use to keep track of my party's adventures, right? So I'm actually keeping track all the way up here, and I should go through and clean some of this up, but it's kind of like a historic document at this point. I can see where my party have gone. I probably should have made it clearer, but I think they came down here, right? And then I kind of like stopped doing this, and we've moved significantly in the campaign to other areas. And you can see I've come down here and I've started keeping track of like the characters they're going to meet and some of the elements of the campaign that are kind of important and where things are. I find this very handy just for like organising my thoughts. And when I'm organising my thoughts, I kind of like sometimes like to have either like little snippets of information, or I'll come in here and have like, here I've got a link to this person's topic so I can get their stat blocks and stuff. And obviously this is using the Excalibur plugin. I could be using Canvas for this. I'm not a fan of Canvas yet. Alright, it's a bit more restrictive in what you can do, and this is just, it's easy to throw pictures at and just draft out ideas. So that's the second part of my dashboard, and I generally keep that open when I'm playing a game. Then over here I've got a link to the chapter that I'm playing. Alright, and I use that significantly to say, well, this is where we're at. Obviously I'm playing a module. I don't have time to do my own world building, if I'm completely honest. That would just consume me. So I play pre-made encounters and modules and adventures, and obviously I just use this to go through. You can see here I'm like just, I've read through this, I've highlighted text, I've put my encounters in, and I can pretty much run the session out of here at the moment, because obviously I'm like, we're in an official adventure, we're in a dungeon. We're in here actually, so therefore it's very easy for me to keep track of everything that's going on. Something else I like to do over here actually is I've now got this map over here on the left as well. So on top of this I can now just bring this up, and I keep this here pinned, so I can just click this and I know which room they're in. I'm finding that a very easy sort of piece of functionality. I've gone through and I've added the next couple of dungeons as well, that I'm where the players are sort of going to be hitting. Alright, and that way, you can really keep track of where they're going. It's very easy. Sometimes I put the pins off. The trick, by the way, just in case anyone wants to try this, you right click something once you've dragged it in here, you just literally drag it in here, and then you just basically right click and go pin, and that way when you click these, they open in the middle bit. getting off topic now. It had nothing to do with this, but you know, it's sort of related. Like, it's part of that chapter. All right, that's now become part of my process to have that over there. Then we have character sheets, and it's just basically a link to the character sheets. Now, I actually don't use this, if I'm completely honest. Sometimes I make screenshots for the internet. Surprise. You know, they're designed as sort of like eye-catchy things for people who haven't seen the tool before, or they're looking for a campaign manager. I like to have it there so that people know there is some fancy stuff you can do. Personally though, I don't really ever click that. It's just a pretty looking button. So you could put whatever you like in here. Now let's just break down this element though. This is quite literally, and if I just move this out of the way, wide tables can be a bit hard to see, but as you can see here, it's just a table. Alright, I don't have anything special going on here at all. In the top is the picture. Alright, that's the top section of a table, and you can see 1 cell, 2 cell, 3 cell, 4 cell. You can see I've pasted some pictures in here. Okay, that's all that is. Alright, it's a standard picture link in a table. I've got the ITS theme installed, which means I can use these fancy image tools. Alright, I could remove this. If I removed that, what would it do? It would blow it up to be really big. Okay, so the ITS theme has some fantastic little elements in there. Obviously the trick to that is putting a pipe in and then putting the adjustments in behind it. And the ITS theme, if anyone's looking for it, you can obviously go into Appearance, you can go into Manage, I'll show installed only, it's here. And if you want to learn about the image adjustments, the best thing to do is come down here to the ITS theme documentation. And we'll just drag this over just so you guys can see it. We've got image adjustments, come down here, and there's a whole wealth of information here on different adjustments that you can do. And you can stack them on top of each other, use them in collaboration with each other, and that's what I'm using here just to sort of make my images the same size. So I've got 4 images. Alright, that's pretty simple. I've just either taken screenshots of my tool, copied a screenshot of an image that I like, or you know, come in here and actually just gone on Google and found an image, and then just pasted in, that's it. Now, underneath that, I've then got links to the pages, okay? Actually, I just want to show you something that's probably important to see. Some people might look at this and go, what is that there? That's out of place. You don't need that. I just want to call out that when you're using a pipe in a table, alright, tables use pipes to determine where the next part of the table is. So therefore, I'm escaping this pipe, alright, with this backslash here. Alright, I'm escaping it, and what that means is I'm telling that I don't want to use it for its standard functionality, I want to use it for something else, and that allows it to function. It allows me to use the pipe for that in a table, while obviously using the pipe for the table functionality further down the track as well. So just a heads up, if I took that out, what would happen? Alright, it would break it. Okay, and you can see that what it's actually done is it's used the pipe there to say, hey, that's the edge of the table, and then it's used the next one to create another one. It's really broken everything. So if we go back in, we put the pipe in, put the slash in, now it obviously renders properly. Alright, underneath that, these are just links to notes. Okay, they're just in different cells. You can see I'm using the escape again here because I wanted to rename this one. So I've renamed it. Alright, and now I have links to notes, right? There's nothing rocket science about that. It's just handy shortcuts that I control. I can put whatever I want in there. As my adventure changes, I change these. I might make some other adjustments in the future. Alright, so that's sort of like the first tab. Next, let's go down and let's break this bit down. Okay, so this is just literally a stack of my players that play at my table. There's way more here than there should be, and I need to actually put some more filters onto this. But for anyone playing at home, this is obviously Dataview. Dataview is just a plugin that we've used for a long time. Lots of us use it, but Dataview is that plugin there. And what I have in here, I think it's this one. Yes, this one here. Oh no, that's commented out, sorry. Ignore that. That was actually for a fancy heat map. And I'll show you that just while we're here, because it used to be called, I'm not sure, it's been updated 3 months ago, I probably need to go away and have a look at it. I was using heat maps to show where my sessions were, but I just found it was a little bit problematic. When 2023 started, my heat map stopped working. There was a problem with the date codes or something to do with maybe the Australian time format, I don't know. But I've commented that out so that I don't have to obviously use it. Let's just do a quick check actually. While we're doing it, let's just go completely off track and just see if I install this and enable it. Get rid of my comments. Alright, I've commented this out with the percentage signs. Alright, so it's, you know, that's what it was looking like, and it had basically these colours that would come up and show me where my sessions were. You could click these little boxes to go to the session journals. It was quite a nice piece of functionality, but yeah, as I said, I have found it stopped working, and I need to spend some more time to get it working if I'm going to go back in that direction. So I've left it here in my comments, and obviously this is something you can do, is you can comment something out so that you don't see it, alright, unless you come back and have a look for it, so that I just don't have to mess with it. But while I'm here, I am going to go through and just turn that off. Where is it? Heat map calendar, because I'm not going to use it for a while. Alright, so let's go back to this one. This is just a Dataview table, and if we come down here, this is this one here. It's a very simple Dataview table. It's basically just giving you a Dataview table that's looking in this folder. Okay, so we can see over here on the left, it's the one party, that's that folder there, and then deadly depth in, we're going to go that one, deadly depth in, so it's looking at that folder there. Alright, and then what it's doing is it's looking there and it's creating a table where the first column is obviously the file, the second column is the class, race, level and role, and there's a filter on it where it says role equals player. Now I said I needed to sort of like make this a bit better. What I need here is, see this status that I've put in, and this is the front matter obviously that I have in these player notes. Let's just go through it. Right, player, that's my my player's name. Yes, I have a player called Dragon. We have a class, we have a race, we have a level, we have a modifier, AC, HP, the passive perception, their alias, their role, obviously is a player, a note icon, that's for the advanced note icon. What is that one called? I really like this plugin. Supercharged links. This one allows it to, like, so that every time I mention my player's name in my notes, it comes up with a little player wizard icon that shows me they're a player. That's all that is. And then the status is inactive. Alright, so I don't want to be showing people who are inactive. I want to show the people who are active. So that one there. So if we come back to here and go into edit. Alright, so we got where role equals player. And we probably need to do an and. Now, the trick to making your own Dataview queries, guys, is to come here to obsidianttrpgtutorials.com. That's right, it's my new website. You can come and see all of my stuff. Sorry, had to. Come down here to plugin tutorials, scroll down here to Dataview and other advanced plugins. Alright, now in here what we've actually got is a link to getting started with Dataview. Alright, so I've got a video there you can watch. They've got links to the plugins here as well, but here is the Dataview query builder. Alright, that's very handy. You can come in here and basically use this. So if we go start, and I want to make a table, here I'm just going to copy this, right? So I want a table that are comma separated. So I'm going to bring these in here. It's asking what front matter do I want to turn into my stuff. So I'm going to do that. Next. Alright, I only want to show which notes in a specific root level folder and its subfolders. I'm not working at a root level. Alright, I'm working at a subfolder. So we're going to come down here and we can see here we need to put the path in. So you can see that I've already got that, not in that vault. I've already got that here, so I'm just going to copy that. And helps if I put the right thing in. And you can see down here, right, it's building this query. Alright, I want to see all notes returned. I only want to see notes where a particular field exists. Equals a certain value. Alright, yep, I want this one here. So the name of the field, what we're going to use status. If we come over to here, we're going to say we want where status equals active. And also I want to say where role equals player. So where role do a text value player. Alright, how do we want to sort this? Just want to go back here. Can I actually add more of these? I need an AND statement. Alright, so we're going to sort it. We'll go based on note name. In which direction? We'll go ascending. Do you want similar results? No, we're going to go one result line. And then do you want every result or just the first few? Show me everything. Alright, congratulations, your new Dataview query is done, so we can now copy this, and in we go. And, you know, if we paste this in here, you'll probably see that, well, this is what I've used. Let's just have a look. Alright, I usually get rid of the break lines there, come back, so the only difference here is the sort. So I could add that in, where role equals player, and I'm going to see how there's a different way that they've done that actually. And I'm going to go where status equals active. See if this works. I don't know if that's the way you do an AND statement. Doing a quick Google. What I can do, just see if we go back to my website here and go into Dataview examples, I might actually have something in here. Where I've done an AND. I can't remember. Yeah, I have done ANDs before. Here we go. Somewhere along the lines I've actually done this exact same query before. There we go. Alright, so we've just updated that, so anyone who missed that syntax, let's just go through it slowly. I've taken the sort out in that copy and paste, I could stick that back in. But we're basically saying, make me a Dataview table with these columns, pull the data from these notes, where the role in the front matter of that note, where the role equals player and the status equals active. And obviously I have one note per player in here. If you open up any of these, you should basically see they've all got similar results. You can see I'm not using all the data. Now some of this is used in the initiative tracker, for example. It's pulling in details over here. But that's really neither here nor there for this, this tutorial. And as you can see here, we're now getting player, class, race, level, role, plus also the file. And there is also a way to rename that first one. Where is it? Down here. So you can go as, we can rename a thing, and here, this one here. So now this will actually allow us, and this is again on the website, you can come in here and say table without ID link, file.name as, and then this bit here lets you rename that, right? So what we can do is come in here, we can come down here to table, alright, we got player, character name. Alright, and that just renames that from file to character name, so that can obviously be quite handy because no one wants to see file, you know, just you want your tables to be correctly labeled. So you can see obviously like that's all this is. You can see the links are still working there. It's worth knowing that this second method that I used, without ID, link file.name. That link file.name is the bit that converts this into a file link and it links it through. And you can see here that I've got that supercharged links enabled. So it's showing me my little wizard icons to show that they're, you know, doing their thing. Now I've also got this up here on this other little board. Now, you can see I've brought in different information here. So, character name, player name, AC, passive perception. You can tell what I use this for, right? We're at the table. Instead of me going, hey, what's your passive perception? I'm doing a secret check that you don't need to know about. I just quickly come up here and go, oh, hey, click. Oh yeah, all right, that's cool. Your passive perception this, I do my rolls and off I go. For those playing along at home, you can see obviously got some buttons here to quickly make new things. If I press them, it prompts me for a note name, applies a template and puts those notes into the right folder. So I think there's a video on that as well. All right, so that is that section there. All right, it's relatively simple. It just means that I've got everything at my hand, nice and easy, right? If I've got a question about my players, if I can't remember what their race is or their class is or their level or their details, right, I can quickly just come in here. I'm horrendous with remembering names, all right? So that's why I have the player name and the character name, because when I'm DMing, I prefer to go, hey, Garbok, it's your turn, roll initiative, right? I like to try keep it in character. As much as possible, instead of saying, hey Tash, where are you going? It kind of breaks that. So because my memory is like a sieve, I have this written everywhere. Alright, now let's just go through and let's break down the next part. So next we have session journals, and you can see here that it's over on the right hand side. Alright, that's using the ITS theme. I'm using the ITS callout over here. So if we come down here and have a look, we can see it's the info box. Okay. Now again, I've got tutorials on this myself, but it's always best to go through and have a look at the actual ITS theme. So if you want to start on my website and go to theme and appearance, come down to ITS theme, and I've got the ITS theme documentation linked here. And then from there you can come in and have a look at the callout adjustments, I think it is, or callouts. You've got info boxes here. There's a whole section on how to use these info boxes, and these are the things that basically they make tables go on the right, or they make tables go on the left, or in the center, or whatever. I use them for so many things. I love them. Alright, but as you can see in here, it's handy because I didn't have a need for this space over here, so I thought I'd put something useful in, and session journals is rather useful. Alright, so what have I got over here? Let's just break this down. Session journals. I've got a button here to say, hey, create me a new session journal. Now, that is using database folder. Okay, and if we click new, it takes me to the database folder entry, and from here I can press this button and I can create a new journal entry, and off it goes. Now, I haven't been using this a bit, so it's probably not functioning the way I say it's functioning right now. Sometimes I need to go back and massage these things, but yeah. Alright, so that's all that is, and if we break this down and have a look, you can see here's the info box. Alright, we can see that it's just got a heading in the top of it, that's it, and then we've got a create new button. All that does is just go to the create new session journal database folder note, that's it. It's got a pipe with a rename on there just to plus new, just so it's like nice, neat, out of the way, and I don't see it. That's it, nothing special. Alright, then we've actually put a Dataview table into here, okay? And there's a trick to this. You can see that I don't follow the syntax correctly for a Dataview table. Alright, and by that I mean I don't have the ending sections there, and you can see by the color of here that that kind of messes with things. So important to know when you're using Dataview in an info box, you don't need to put that, I don't know what they're called, dash, 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 whatever, at the end. It just breaks the coding for it. So you only need that first section, and it's literally like, it's just like that, right? You copy it in, and you have that one little right hand arrow at the start with a space, alright, and then that basically you paste your Dataview code in, and off you go. So let's just go through this. It's the Dataview query. We're creating a table with the column status, players, and a one-liner. Alright, if we come in here, you can see I've got player, status, one-liner. I've also got that file thing going on. So I might just change this. Alright, we're going to change this session date. Let's see what that does. There we go, and that just changes that session date. There we got the status, that's an emoji. Alright, we got the players, which is just a front matter where I write how many players turned up. and a one-liner, again, it's just a string. So let's just go into one of these journal notes and just have a look and see what they are. Here's my last session. I was really tired, so I wrote some just quick, nasty notes, which in this case was just dot points. I like to do that at the end of every session before I go to sleep, so it's all fresh in my mind. As I said, memory like a sieve. We're going to click into edit mode, and here is where these things are working. Alright, so we've got the name of the actual, the date that the session occurred. I'm starting with the year, just so my sorting in my notes obviously comes through correctly. Here we've got some stuff going on though. This is for a timeline plugin. Ignore. Session status occurred. I keep track of whether the session has occurred or not. Alright, you can see now I've pressed escape, and some of you are probably going, oh, you got a drop down menu. How the hell did you do that? That is the various complements plugin. Alright, it's the thing that allows you to basically type, and as you type, it makes recommendations. Don't know why it's not picking up. An orc. Maybe because I'm in my front matter. Let's go down here and find it. Yeah, it's because I'm in my front matter. So as you type, you get recommendations from various complements, which is very handy, I find. Some people find it a bit overwhelming because there is always going to be situations where it's kind of like overbearing and getting in your face, and you're like, hey, go away. Because if you just press enter here, it'll actually like put in a full link, right? So sometimes you've got to press escape, keep going. I've got used to it. I like it. I think that the benefit of getting automatic linking is worth it. But also what it does is it allows your front matter to have memory. And by that I mean, I've got session status here. Oh, I get options for planned and occurred, all right, because I've used planned and occurred in the session status front matter in other notes. So therefore I can just come in here. This one occurred, I believe. So I can go through, put that in, and off you go. All right, I've got a type session journal. I put as type front matter into all my notes, generally, right? Rule of thumb is I try to. I forget logically a lot of the time as well. That's just how it is. But type session journal so that I know it's a session journal note. That's basically, it's a high level filter. Session date, what date did it occur on? How many players were either planned or turned up? Session status occurred. I don't know why I'm doing it twice. Probably just bad testing at some point. Sloppiness left it in. Status. This is just an emoji. Alright, so you can press Windows key, full stop, bring up your emoji window, and you can just like put in emojis. I like them because it just gives that nice visual kick in your notes. And I use basically, I've got two different variations that I've used here. Alright, it's either it happened or it didn't. Alright, just so I've got a nice visual key that says, yeah, this actually happened. My one-liner, alright, it's as it sounds. I just write a line of text to say, hey, this is what happened in this session. Give me a high level. And then again, I've got timelines, so ignore that. That's all part of this up here. Alright, so that's the front matter on my session journals. And then under there, I just keep them very simple. There's no plugins being used in here at all, basically. And the reason for that is I publish these with Obsidian Publish. Obsidian Publish doesn't generally support plugins, although I'm starting to see some people achieve some amazing things. But I like to obviously just keep it simple so I can publish it on my website and off it goes. Alright, so let's go back. Let's have a look in here then at what this is doing. It's an info box with a title in it, then a link, then a Dataview query. Alright, and it's creating that Dataview query with the file name as session date, which is obviously the name of the session journals. I'm getting a few different columns of information there. Where type equals session journal. Okay, so they've got that filtering, and that's that note type that obviously I need in there. And that's it. It just gives me a nice strong list of all my session journals that have occurred so that I can go back and keep track of everything that's occurred. Now the important one thing here is that the file name .desc, right, it's a sort. It's sorting by file name, which in this case is the date. I'm put in a descending order so that way I get the most recent note and then it just goes down to the latest note, so you can see how many sessions my players have played here as well for this current adventure. Alright, that's it. Alright, that's my session journals, and as I said, I used to use the heat map calendar here in place of this. I find Dataview is just cleaner and easier, to be honest. I'm quite a fan of it, and it's just there, it's off to the side, I can get it if I need it, just in case I need to read up on anything. Alright, now down the bottom of here, now I don't really use this, if I'm completely honest. It's cool, and again, it's kind of like for that screenshot thing, right? I'm showing people that it's possible, but it's not something I use a lot myself. You know, like if I want history, depends what we've got going on here. I'll just click some stuff. If I want history, then I can right click up on here and I can get back to my history rather quickly. Again, I don't think that is out of the box functionality. That would be coming from something with history in it. Pain relief, yeah, per tab history, pain relief. Alright, so that's where that's coming from. So I use that probably if I need to jump back quickly into something. But you know, it's cool that you can do this, and some people would probably find this very useful. Again, it's just a Dataview query. It is a bit more advanced, and I'll put a copy of this onto the website so people can just come in and grab it. But basically what we're saying is I want to make a table. Alright, we're using the file path method. Looks like I'm actually doing some more advanced stuff there to actually bring in the folder name as well as the file path. You can see it's got the file mtime as last modified. That's a special Dataview query thing, and you can see that what that's doing there is it's giving that and then giving the modified time. Now the modified time is based on the modified time in Windows, so they should match up. Then we're going from, alright, so root folder, where mtime blah 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 is less than, so where the file modify time is less than 30 days, and the file name is not equal to this file name and contains any of these. Okay, so basically I've got a bunch of folders that I don't care about. If they get updated files in them, I don't want to show them. In assets, I don't need to see them. Inline scripts, I don't need to see them. Templates, I don't need to see them. That's what this is. Alright, that whole section there is saying just list me the notes that matter but ignore the ones that I put in here. And you can just basically just go through and add, you know, any folder names in there, and that's obviously something I just have to maintain. And then we're sorting it in a descending order, and we're limiting it to 10. You can obviously up this limit if you want. Alright, just to increase the number of things that you've got going on there. I like to keep it limited because, you know, I'm not actually using it that much. It might be useful if I'm like, oh, I was working on that note last week. Quickly go down, have a look. Oh, yep, there it is. Or if it's been a while and I can't remember what I was working on, then this is obviously another place that's, you know, quite good for me to come in here and have a look at it. And then, yeah, obviously you can see that this is all pieced together, just in sections. It's not an overly complex note, really. Like, I mean, yes, there's a few things going on, but overall pretty simple. You can obviously apply this to your own, and I've seen some people who have taken this concept and even taken this note and they've duplicated and replicated it in their own way and made it look how they want and added information. You know, you might want to have some text in here. You might want to have a list of NPCs. Alright, there's an idea. That's something I might do, is maybe I'll replace this with recently modified NPCs. Alright, so I can see the last 10 NPCs that I interacted with. That might be useful. Actually, now if I expand on that idea, last 10 interacted location notes would be useful. Last 10 location NPCs, that would be useful as well. I'm going to have a play with that idea. If I get it to work, I will stick it up on Obsidian TTRPGtutorials.com so that you can come along and use it too. Where would I put it? I will be putting this under plugin tutorials. Come down here to Dataview and other advanced plugins, and I'll probably start adding some more stuff into here, into Dataview examples, so you can come along and have a look and obviously copy these in. I've done these in a way that you can sort of come in here and just grab this code and paste it into your note. Now, it's Dataview though, guys, right? Let's not just plug and play. You do have to read these, because you can see I do have my Vault folder paths in here, so you have to do a little bit of manipulation in order to get yours working, but hopefully it should be enough in here to give you an idea of what you need to do and allow you to do all sorts of cool things for yourself as well. So yeah, anyway, that has been how to make a new custom tab page. All of this obviously is completely reliant on that custom new tab. Alright, default new tab page plugin. And you can see that in the options, all I've done is I've created a note and I've linked to that note. It's very, very simple, very powerful, and it means whenever I'm quickly looking for something, it's just one click away and off I go, and I just use this like a map to figure out where I need to go for my next session. So anyway, guys, I hope that has been useful for you. I will stick the entire sort of write-up for this on the website so you can come through and access it. But outside of that, if you are enjoying this content, please do like and subscribe. I do apologise for my TikTok videos, guys. I'm trying to breach into that younger audience just to say, hey, we've got some cool stuff here. Because I was watching their videos and all they talk about is the graph view, right? So we have to help them. I've got to tell them how much cooler Obsidian can be, right? So our community can continue to grow. So yeah, I apologise. I haven't got a selfie stick yet, but it's only because my order got lost by the mail. I'm sorry. I'm showing my age here, probably. Young ones are probably just like, you weirdo. Old ones are rolling their eyes, got to be laughing. Anyway, guys, have a great day. Outside of that, I just want to say a massive and huge thanks to my Patreons. Obviously, things are changing with my Patreon. We're moving everything to the website. That's going to be the future of what I'm doing. It means that I'm not putting anything behind a paywall. All right, people have historically had access to my Vault. I'm putting my Vault onto my published site. That is where I'm going, so that everyone can access it, everyone can use it, and the Patreon will be there as a way for people to say thanks really, right? Keep me engaged, making more videos. I'm not going anywhere, let's be completely honest. But, you know, if you would like to support me, there is Patreon links in the description below. And obviously, huge thank you guys. You've actually made an impact on my life this year. I'm so thankful. Outside of that, I will speak to you on the socials. Have a great day and happy dice rolling.